Yes, Diana ma'am. Diana ma'am, you have raised your hand. Any query you want to ask?
Madam, whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. It is clearly visible, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Sir, just 1 second. Is it possible for you to keep your camera on for like 1 or 2 slides?
Yeah, no problem.
Sir, that stop sharing part, you can just click on hide.
Hide. Yes.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. We are just saying that you can click on hide. There is one command of stop. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
So can I start?
Yes, sir, please.
Good morning, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank first the organizing committee of this faculty development program from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology. And today the topic which we will be discussing and learning together is design thinking, which is a evolving topic. So I expect more of a interaction than the one-way delivery. May I know the background of the participants in short, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sir, so we have mostly are from teaching faculty, engineering institutes, assistant professors. We have few from pharmaceutical backgrounds, few are from HR and management, few 2-3 participants are from accounts department. And sir, we have participants from overall India. So yes, mostly are from teaching background and few are from industry area.
Well, it means it's a diversified group of participants.
Yes, sir.
No issue. Some of the points to ponder before starting the actual lecture. Significance of new product design, significance of system design, challenges in product design, system design, concept of quality of design, and tomorrow's big profits and huge salaries have to come from the west of today. Participants, please think for 2-3 minutes. I will wait for that, then we will discuss this. Shall we start the discussion?
Yes, sir. I guess we can start.
So design thinking, it is applicable to every domain, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is service, or whether it is IT or any other perspective. Being a production engineer, I will give more examples from manufacturing side. So there is one term known as new product design. Can anyone explain what is the significance of new product design, or what does it mean? Any participant?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, in the sense like any product that if you want to bring into the market, then we have to think in terms of all the aspects.
Why it is needed?
To meet the needs of the current requirements.
Good. You must have heard about the companies like Kodak, Hindustan Motors. Anyone familiar with such companies? Have you heard of it? Hello?
Yes, sir. Participants are writing in chat box. They have heard of this company.
Where is Kodak now? Where is Hindustan Motors?
Participants kindly unmute and be part of this discussion.
It will be better if you interact rather than writing in the chat box. That will help us to generate the enthusiasm. Both of these companies now vanished. Once upon a time, they were the market leaders. What are the reasons? Also, you can take the example of Nokia. When mobiles came into the market, approximately 20 years before in India, Nokia was the market leader. What is the situation of Nokia today?
Nokia is nowhere in the market because Nokia, not adopted that particular Android system on initial days.
Correct. They failed to capture the market flavor, requirements of market, and they delayed it. And in the meantime, their competitors rightly recognized the need of the market, and they were proactive in development of the product in alignment with the market needs. Similarly, Hindustan Motors, they were in automobile manufacturing, ambassador car. In around the 90s, 80s, 90s, they were the market leaders. Some of you, those who are of my age or older than me, they might have seen the ambassador cars. It was perceived to be very prestigious to sit in the ambassador car that time. But now, ambassador almost vanish, and even if it is there, you will find that people will perceive it as some substandard thing. Because the car was good, but they captured to launch the varieties of designs, products in the same domain, which their competitors did rightly. Maruti started somewhere in 1983, and they captured the market very fast, and they became the market leader. So it is applicable in every product, every domain. And the research has shown that the first 20% of the manufacturers of new product capture 80% of the profitability. Is it true? Do you agree with me? Hello? The first proactive manufacturers of new product or new systems capture almost 80% of the market profitability. Do you agree or not? I think you are not understanding that. I will speak in your language.
Agree, sir, agree.
Okay. Revisit
Yes,
the period
agree.
of 90s when private engineering colleges started. Somewhere in 1983 again. Till 2010. Getting admission into private engineering college was also tough in terms of the donation. They used to charge 10 lakh, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Government, there is no donation. You have to go on merit. But private, that time it used to be total management seats. What is the situation today? What is the situation today? Sardar Patel
Hello,
College
sir.
of Engineering is different. But if you revisit the history of other private engineering colleges, you will find that hardly few colleges are there which can attract the students on donation basis. Whereas other colleges, there are so many vacancies. Even they are giving subsidies in their tuition fees. Does the picture you are aware about? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what can be the reasons?
It is as you said previously, delay in understanding the requirement of the customers, and according to the market, if we will not work towards it, then it is going to hamper all other things. That is what is happening.
Absolutely true. First thing is you need to be proactive for launching a particular business. Whether it is an education institute, or it is a manufacturing industry, or it is the IT industry. When your business is new, people's lack understanding of the market. And whatever you say, people are ready to pay for that. They don't negotiate much. That is one thing. Once a market becomes saturated, that is perfect competition. I hope there are some people from accounting or economic side. There is two terms known as monopolistic market and perfect competition market. Can anyone help me to understand? Hello? Monopoly means only one or two or few players in the market. And perfect competition means mushroom growth of the competitors. And when mushroom growth happens, customer benefits from it. Because customer is aware about the product, the competition, and customer bargains with the service providers or product providers. Is it true? Hello? समजताय का मी काय बोलतोय ते? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding what I am telling?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similar is the case with system design. In order to deliver a particular product or service, you need to have appropriate design of the systems. And if you fail to visualize the product appropriately, your design may be lacking in terms of performance orientation. By hook or crook, you will be able to manufacture that product or generate that service, but it may not be optimistic route. When you are operating in monopolistic market, you may not get adversely affected because of faulty design of the system. But as the competition grows, your competitors optimize the resources and they are able to provide a better product at lower cost in a shorter time than you. That moment you understand the importance of good system design. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I will explain once again it through your example of educational institute. What is the product of educational institute?
Students.
Students,
We need
graduate
to
students.
mentor the students. We need to enhance knowledge and finally award the degrees to them. That is our main objective. But you will find that there is a lot of variation in terms of a student passing from Institute A and a student passing from Institute B from the same university. Why is it so? Same branch, same university. Market perceives it differently. Why is it so? I remember when I used to work in VZTI, the companies which used to come to VZTI for their placement, they used to reduce their cutoff marks up to 55%. Good companies even for VZTI students. Whereas for other college students, it used to be 65%, 70%. Same may be the case with SPIT also or IITs also. The case is different. That time VJTI was in Mumbai University and other colleges were also the part of Mumbai University. Still the companies used to perceive the students, that is the graduates, differently. Can anyone explain why is it so? Participants, please.
Hello, sir.
हाँ बोला.
There is a difference in the quality of the product. If we will see the student is a product in this case, then there is a vast difference between the quality of the product which we are getting from the different institutes. And because of that, actually, the placement teams which they are going for it, they have reduced their cutoff and all that thing. It's because of the quality.
Yes, it is true. There are some colleges which started much late, but they had adopted the systematic approach and they have even surpassed the performance of these government colleges. There are fewer. So what is the need? We need to understand the requirements of the market Accordingly, we need to develop the infrastructure in our institutes. Faculty development is essential, and we cannot rely on age-old subjects. जैसे पुराने जमाने में हम इंजीनियरिंग ड्राइंग पढ़ाते थे, जिंदगी उसमें निकल जाता था पूरा, या अप्लाइड मैकेनिक्स पढ़ा के पूरा जिंदगी निकल जाता था, पास्कल प्रोग्रामिंग पढ़ा के जिंदगी निकल जाता था. इज इट ट्रू टुडे?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because technology is changing every day and we have to update ourselves as well. We cannot rely on whatever has been taught for like many years. So we have to come up with something new and also update ourselves.
Absolutely. Actually, the brain of any institute, educational institute, is its faculty. If the faculty takes interest in updating their knowledge from time to time, and the top management inspires the faculty to refresh their knowledge, do research, publish papers, participate in solving in industry problems, then industry pursues such institutes differently than the routine institutes. I will just give example of our institute. Some of you might be knowing our institute. Some of you may not be knowing. Presently, I am working with National Institute of Industrial Engineering, which is the topmost institute in industrial engineering nation at national level. We get almost 25% of the students who completed their BTechs from IITs, and remaining are either from NITs, government colleges, or good private engineering colleges. And average experience is 3 to 4 years. Those who have worked in Infosys, Cognizant, L&T, and so on. So we get the good talent. Now it is challenging to nurture such types of challenge. Many times what happens that we have to keep our approach open enough to learn from the students. The students might be having better knowledge than us. In that case, we need to respect that student, learn from him or her, and deliver it to the remaining class. And as a part of our recruitment rules, we are required to participate minimum of 52 days in a year in solving industry problems or business problems. So that exposure enhances our teaching approach. This is the unique institute. And I feel that not possible for 52 days, but at least for 5 to 10 days, every institute should encourage their faculties to understand the problems of industry, participate in solving that industry problems. That will give the unique experience to all of us. And the teaching to the students will be more effective. Students respect you more if you speak the language of industry rather than speaking the bookish language. Hope you agree with me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any institute which is adopting such types of practices, nowadays there are so many autonomous institutes. And as per my knowledge, some of the institutes have already started such practices. I don't know about Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, but it is the need of the hour to understand the dynamic challenges of the industry and participate in that problem solving, read advanced knowledge, that will enhance your teaching learning process. What are the other challenges in product design, system design? I think that most of you belongs to IT category or electronics category. So what are the challenges in product design, system design? No challenge? What challenges your students face while working on the projects?
To bring some uniqueness to their products.
Yes.
Availability of the infrastructure.
Correct. First one is to identifying the product to be developed, which means the market need. Recognizing the market need is the challenge, and those who proactively identify the need of the market, that is the 50% of the problem is solved. Then converting that specifications of the market need into the particular product design is a challenge. And how smartly and optimistically you develop that product that decides the success of the product in the market. And being educational institutes, we have dearth of infrastructure. Some of our infrastructure has become obsolete, and we don't have that financial capacity to upgrade it from time to time. So what is the solution for making available the upgraded infrastructure for the students to work on the recent projects? Anyone? Hello? क्या सॉल्यूशन निकल सकता है ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So what is your view? How do you help the students in completing their project in spite you have the lack of infrastructure? Are you getting my question or not? मराठी समजतं का सर्वांना?
Yes, participants kindly take part in this discussion.
Are you getting my question?
So can you repeat the question?
Suppose you are working in some type A institute. Being the new institute, you have lack of infrastructure, or you don't have the infrastructure or obsolete infrastructure, and your students are progressive. They want to work on updated technology for their project. How do you help them?
So maybe via funding or via applying for DST funds or something like that. We can. Mumbai City is also giving grants. AICT is also giving grants. So in that case, we can apply for proposals and try to bring in the resources for the students.
Well, appreciable. What's your name, madam?
So my name is Pallavi.
Where are you working?
So I am from SPIT.
Okay, good. So every faculty member is supposed to do some teaching. Apart from the duty of teaching, we are also expected to contribute in development of the infrastructure for that particular institute. And no single institute can afford to develop the laboratories having updated technologies. So there are so many grants available from various authorities like university, AICT, MHRD, UGC, DST, DRDO, BRC, and so on. So we must write some proposals for that type of grants, and if you try, you get that grants, and with the help of that grants, you can develop your laboratory slowly. What other routes are there apart from getting grants from government agencies or universities?
So collaboration.
Correct. You need to approach the industries. If you visit the foreign universities, anyone has visited any foreign university, advanced country? Anyone participant?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, I will just spend few minutes. I got an opportunity to visit various universities in the United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand. What I've seen, how that universities are different from our universities or engineering colleges. They have very, very strong infrastructure as compared to even our IITs or IIMs. Here in India, IITs, IIMs or NITI or NITs are considered to be the prime institutes. But if you compare the infrastructure at our institutes and the foreign institute or foreign university, you will find that we are nowhere in terms of the infrastructure. So we try to understand from where they get the funds. They tie up with the industries, and the industries develop their research centers inside the university, which means it is a win-win situation for that particular type of industry as well as the university. Can you believe this?
Yes, sir, agreed.
I remember we were at University of Manchester in UK. They were having at least 75 car engines in various laboratories, and all of them were working, and students were doing the research as well as industry persons were also there in getting that research done. Faculty were involved. It was the joint efforts for research on automobile engines. And see our situation. Even the prime institutes in our country hardly have more than 1 or 2 engines in their automobile laboratory. And that too, that engine will be obsolete. So there is a lot to benchmark with the universities in developed countries. Even the countries like Thailand, which is a small country, but they have much better infrastructure of educational institutes than our country. So we need to benchmark ourselves and adopt their practices. We need to convince the industries. I know that 100 times you convince, 99 you may not get the response.
but that 1%, there is a hope. Your alumni or someone known to you will take it positively, and small way they can invest in development of laboratories. So that efforts needs to be done. Also, you need to collaborate in teaching, research in various institutes. You can send your students for their project to BRC, DRDO, or industry. Sorry, for doing their project on the basis of advanced technological laboratory available there. It can be the win-win situation for both the organizations. Are you practicing this? Are you sending your students to BRC, DRDO, or IITs, or not?
Yes, sir. A few of our students have done their internships to BRC, and few students were at IIT.
Very good. That number should increase.
Sir, I
Yes,
have
sir.
a question here, if I may ask.
Yeah, please.
Sir, what I have seen the trend is that more students go towards IT sector or services, even though they are into the core electronics and EXTC departments. And even though we might have certain projects, but we might lack students who actually want to work in this particular domain, because what they feel is they might work in some IT sector and get the better resume compared to working in a core department, because that is the general trend. More jobs are available in that domain. So what can be done regarding that?
Madam, I partially agree with you. Nowadays, ICT, information, communication, and technology, it has become an integral part of every branch of engineering. Whether one is from mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, or electronics engineering, electrical engineering, everywhere ICT is important. And you need to reorient your subjects, projects in alignment with the needs of the market. And the case may be the particular institute is not offering the challenging projects to the students, which students perceive that this is the obsolete project. There is no benefit to me, or this cannot attract me on placement. That is the main reason. Now at NITI, we offer paid internship to IIT BTechs. We pay around 15,000 to 40,000 per month for doing internship at NITI. But our condition is they must be the first class students from IITs, and that too only 6 old IITs. So similarly, every institute has its own norms, and they offer the projects or internship on the advanced topics, and we are able to attract a lot of students. This year we could get around 150 applications. Out of that, we have shortlisted around 30 students, and 30 students are working in our campus on internship or projects. So we need to change as a faculty first. And you are autonomous institute, so syllabus is in your hand. So transform that syllabus on recent technologies. Offer the projects to the students which can be challenging, and students perceive it as application of information technology. Your problem can be resolved. Hope that it is helpful to you.
Yes, sir.
I will tell my own example. I am a core production engineer. I taught the subjects of machine design, machining science, casting, and so on. But now it is no more applicable to my teaching. I am teaching almost artificial intelligence, machine learning applications in that manufacturing, because it is the need of the market. I cannot say that AI and ML is the part of computer engineering or IT. It has more become a mandatory part of every application. So we must give the exposure to the students on that recent technologies, how it can help to solve the problems of the industries.
Agreed, sir.
It is tough, madam, but hook or crook, we need to reorient ourselves for our own survival. Otherwise, we will become obsolete in the market. After 5 years, students may not respect us if we teach them by chalk on board the obsolete technologies or the books which were published 30 years before. We need to refresh the syllabus as well as our knowledge from time to time. The next one is concept of quality of design. What do you understand by quality first? Anyone from mechanical engineering? No one?
Sir, I'm from electronics and telecommunication. According to me, quality is something that fulfills our desires or our requirements.
Correct. Anyone else? If you scan the literature, you will find at least 30, 40 definitions of quality. And still, I can confidently say that majority of us lacks understanding about the quality. Do you agree with me? I can convince you with the help of an example. I will give the simple example. I see most of the participants are lady participants here. Is it true? Hello? Everyone likes jewelry.
Yes, sir.
So how do you decide to buy particular type of jewelry? What is your criteria?
Design.
Design,
Material,
Durability,
material,
cost effective,
cost effective,
New trends,
correct,
cost.
Look good.
aesthetics, I will say.
Yeah, aesthetic. Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Costing as well.
Costing, over. Have you heard of KDM?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
It certifies the jewelry with the purity, like it is
Yeah, one important parameter.
91.6% purity and all.
Yeah, the most important parameter is the purities. If we are investing the money.
Okay. Anyone else?
sir, functionality or what is the exact use? Maybe according to that, people might buy things.
I will share a very interesting experience to you. Before coming into academics, I was in jewelry industry. I was process R&D engineer and I did my PhD on jewelry manufacturing. So I got an opportunity to learn a lot about precious metal jewelry. Before joining that industry, I had the same perception what you are telling now. But later, I concluded that all this is a myth. The facts are different. In India, you will find on many jewelry shops, it is written, we sell KDM jewelry. It is perceived as the quality mark. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
But the fact is KDM stands for cadmium. And you may be knowing that it is very difficult to manufacture jewelry from pure gold because of its inherent characteristics. So some alloying elements are added into pure gold in order to improve its workability. And cadmium is added to lower its melting point. And to your surprise, the cadmium treated jewelry is banned in European countries. Can you believe? Hello?
This is surprising.
It's surprising, but it is a fact. Only the countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they buy cadmium added jewelry. European countries does not allow to sell the cadmium treated jewelry because you might have seen some of you after wearing a jewelry, your skin gets irritation or some pattern comes on your skin. Any such experience?
Yes, sir.
The reason for this is cadmium. Cadmium adversely impacts on our skin and rashes do appear on our skin. And that is why cadmium manufactured jewelry is banned in European countries. So are you convinced about the concept of quality? Or not?
Yes, sir, convinced.
So what is the learning from this?
Do not believe on the marketing schemes.
Never believe on marketing person. Try to capture information from various sources and believe in the experienced person who has used that product. First-hand information. That is the more trustful source before buying any product. Now you will say, what is the relevance of quality of design here? Some of you have rightly pointed out that I love aesthetics, unique design, then cost-effective jewelry, then strength-wise durable, repairable, and so on. So your design of the product must consider all these aspects of economics, that is affordable, then safety. It should not cause any problem by using that product. And it should be durable one. It should be repairable one. So quality of design must consider all these aspects. Without that, your design is not robust. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Another example I will give you, very simple. I believe that most of you are married, or some are now the candidates. The question is for those who have married. How did you choose your spouse? What was the criteria?
Sir, I believe everyone have their own priorities, and if that priorities is fulfilled by the opposite party, then and obviously the liking of on both the sides, then the family background and all those things, the expectations and everything, if it matches, then we go ahead with the proposal.
Theoretically, everyone should search quality, complement in their spouse. Correct? Am I correct?
But sir, in this case, the quality for me may not be the quality for somebody else.
Correct. That is what I wanted to point it out. मतलब देखो, एक लड़की अगर 5 लड़कों को देखती है और 5 में से 4 को रिजेक्ट करती है और एक के साथ शादी करती है, it doesn't mean that the 4 she has rejected are not of good quality. और वाइस वर्सा, एक लड़का 5 लड़कियों को देखता है, उसमें से 4 को रिजेक्ट करता है, एक के साथ मैरिज करता है, it does not mean that the rejected 4 are not good. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
True, sir.
See, marriage is the most important event in everybody's life. It is the planned activity. Not only you, your entire family is involved in this. And still, you will find that Bandra court is full of cases. I expect that you have heard about Bandra court.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so? Or every court?
Marital cases or like separation cases are there.
Yes, yes. So many. And that too more in educated peoples. What is the reason? Theoretically, we do tell. But practically, we don't adopt that approach. We don't understand what is quality. Likewise, first madam has told that we see that our needs get satisfied. But while actual execution, we don't see that. We go by flow. Suppose there is a boy. My friend has married with an engineer, or my friend has married with a doctor. I also want to marry with doctor or engineer. Irrespective of my background, her background. In a hurry, we do take the decision. 1-2 साल बहुत अच्छा चलता है, बाद में दुनिया पूरा तमाशा देखती रहती है. Is it true?
Yes, sir. Many cases are there.
So what are the learnings from this?
Think before you act.
Correct. Understand yourself first. Who are you? What are your needs? Whom you are looking for? Whether it will be a complement to each other. It should not become a competition. You should complement each other. Then only it can be a stable pair. If you compete with each other, then ego will clash. and the problems will arise. Same thing is applicable with product services. Never buy a product which is over quality or under quality. Buy a product or service which is of appropriate quality. What does this mean? I am uttering a word: over quality, under quality, appropriate quality. काही समजलं का?
Sir,
Sir,
maybe
what I
by
बोला बोला.
Okay.
yeah, Jyoti
Okay,
ma'am, please
what-
continue.
Okay, thank you. I understand that we need to look for our requirements and accordingly we should choose rather than it has so many qualities listed and go for that. For example, if I go to buy an iPhone and I don't use most of the feature, then why to invest that huge amount? And
Exactly. But if you analyze the market trend, 99% users of the mobile even don't use 25% of the functions of the mobile. Correct?
yes, sir.
So that is nothing but the waste of money. That money could have been used for some better purpose. It is clear to you. Some other madam was speaking, please.
Yeah, so the same point, the same point. Under means I would say that something is like very good, too good to be true kind of stuff. We should never go for that. Overpriced or something which is very much marketed thing might have some defects or something which is very common and highly priced. And appropriately will be like ma'am said, whatever is our requirement accordingly we should buy things or invest in things.
Correct. There is one term, definition of quality: fitness for purpose. What are your requirements? If that particular product or service is able to satisfy your requirements, that is the appropriate quality of product or service for you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now the last sentence, please read it. Tomorrow's big profits and huge salaries have to come from the waste of today. What do you understand from this? You may take 2 minutes and please express your thoughts honestly about it. Have you understood this sentence? Hello?
So
Sir,
does
sir, this is Dr. Arpit Loya. Is it trying to say that every new idea which is presented in today's time is considered as something which is not useful today but will give results in the future?
No, no.
Hello, sir. Is it that whatever we are wasting today, like resources that we are wasting today, for example, water, may become tomorrow's scarcity, so it will be like people will make profits because of the demand in tomorrow's.
Yes, yes, partially correct.
Okay.
I will give certain examples to you. We were discussing about the mobiles. With the same example, we will go ahead. Imagine that 2000 or 2001 year. What was the price of mobile? the lowest end mobile?
If I
Maybe 10,
remember, it were
12,000.
expensive. Yeah.
Please repeat.
So those mobile handsets were expensive at that time. Maybe because of inflation also, I don't know. But that time it felt very expensive to buy a mobile handset.
How much it was? Approx?
I think in range of 5,000.
Anyone else?
So I think it was in the range of 10 to 15,000.
Yes, yes. जो सबसे घटिया मोबाइल था उसका प्राइस 8 से 10,000 के ऊपर था जब मोबाइल नया नया आया उस समय की बात है. And now that mobile is not available in the market, even much better mobile today is available at rupees 500 in the market after 20 years. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So how this happens? जादू कहां से हुआ?
Improvement in
lots
the
of
technology.
manufacturing.
Correct. Improved technology. और
Yes.
दूसरा क्या
Mass
है?
production.
Mass
Mass
production.
Mass production. Correct.
Again, it is related to requirement of the consumers.
Correct.
Somewhere.
Someone is from, I think, marketing amongst you. Is anyone? Have you heard of market segmentation?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
Automobile sector, then infrastructure sector, and all different segments are there.
No, madam.
From that aspect, I know.
No, madam. No, madam.
So it is creating homogeneous groups, having groups of customers having similar requirements or displaying
Correct.
similar characteristics.
Correct. Absolutely true. For example, each one of us is using a mobile, but our financial conditions are different, as well as our intention to invest in mobile is different. Someone likes to purchase a mobile for their functions. किसी को कॉल करना है, किसको मैसेज भेजना है. Someone wants to use mobile, purchase mobile apart from this function. He or she would like to be different in the society. यूनिक मोबाइल चाहिए मेरे पास जो किसी और के पास नहीं है. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
It is applicable for every product. कपड़ा हो, वॉच हो, ज्वेलरी हो, मोबाइल हो. तो ये मैन्युफैक्चरर क्या करते हैं? They develop different segments. कि देखो 100 कस्टमर्स है, 100 में से 5 कस्टमर को यूनिक प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, 70 कस्टमर को सबसे सस्ता वाला चाहिए, बचे हुए को मीडियम चाहिए. So accordingly they develop the products, and in order to encash on the benefits of mass manufacturing, mass production, they keep the prices very low for the lowest segment. First, they make it affordable to everyone. See the recent example of Jio. Jio launch होके कितने साल हो गए? हेलो, Jio शुरू होने
4 years.
Almost 4 to
4
5
years.
years, sir. 4 to 5 years.
4 years.
4 to 5 years. What is your experience?
I am quite satisfied with this, sir. With the
Very good.
network and
Correct.
the price.
Yes. Initially, they offered free services. Those who were not using mobile, they also developed the habit of using internet. And now you will see that initially they started from free to paid. Then they increased the tariffs very marginally. Then on this year, they increased it almost by some 21 or 22%. And now you have developed that habit, and we are not able to pay that much of money, but we cannot live without that. जैसा शराब का होता है कि पहले दोस्त हमको फ्री में शराब पिलाते हैं, बाद में बोलते हैं शराब हमको पीती है. आपने सुना है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very true.
So similar market strategy Jio has used. They first inculcated the habit amongst the customers to use their product. Many customers got benefited because of it, but there are some customers who could live without their internet. They have also developed the habit of using internet, and now they are not able to pay that much of tariff. And you will find that they are earning huge profits. So this is the marketing strategy. So with relevance to this sentence, what does this mean? You need to identify the various waste in the current business. What are resources used for any business? Man, machine, materials, knowledge, capital, land, space, so on. One needs to use these resources optimally in order to generate the profit, pay honest taxes to the government, serve the needs of the society. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
So every time the prices of input materials or labor or salaries of the engineers working, managers working increases with the inflation, but the manufacturer is unable to pass it on to the end customer every time. So these are the conflicting ends. So how do the manufacturers manage to survive in such a difficult conflicting situation? That is what this sentence says. You need to identify the waste in today's business, convert that waste into opportunities, and go on reducing the cost of manufacturing of that particular product or cost of development of that particular service. Although the final price remains same, but the cost is reducing, so your profit is increasing. That is the equation here. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
In your context, educational institute, how do you justify this sentence? We are getting 5th pay, 6th pay, 7th pay, and so many pays. If you compare the role of a faculty member, what it was 20 years before and what it is today, there is a sky change in terms of role of a faculty member. Although our salaries have increased multifold, but our responsibilities are also increasing in that tune. Government or managements are very smart to get done most of the work from the faculty member apart from teaching. We are supposed to do teaching, research, administrative work, and all types of work which the institute needs to do. All non-teaching type of work also we need to do. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Whether it is a private engineering college
Yes, sir.
or it is a government institute. Everywhere it is there. Because the colleges finding it difficult to increase the fees per students in that tune of salary, or they don't get the adequate number of students, but they have to increase the salaries. So they reduce the number of faculties and they get more work done from them and they manage the business. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
So now we will see what is design thinking. Just spend 2 minutes in reading this. Design thinking is an iterative process in which we seek to understand the user, challenge assumptions, redefine problems, in attempt to identify alternative strategies and solutions that might not be instantly apparent with our initial level of understanding. At the same time, design thinking provides a solution-based approach to solving problems. It is a way of thinking and working as well as a collection of hands-on methods. What is your understanding from this picture? What do you understand by design thinking? अभी हम लोगों ने सब जो कीर्तन सुना, what you have learned from all that kirtan with respect to design thinking? Hello?
Yes, sir.
कुछ समझ में आया क्या इसमें से?
Sir, can we say that design thinking is like to solve the problems in a creative way, in an innovative way?
Correct. See, each one of us thinking get developed as per our journey right from birth to this moment. Your educational level, your branch of specialization, your exposure in terms of the practical experience. And you might have heard nowadays B schools are giving more importance to diversified group of students rather than only engineers. Have you heard of this? Or they give more importance to the girl students. They encourage girl students to participate in B school activities.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so?
I mean, because they consider that they have the more creative ability as compared to their male counterparts.
There is one term known as inclusivity. Any idea what is inclusivity?
I mean, taking care of everything all together, sir.
Correct. Irrespective of your social background, your gender, your caste, your creed. Normally what happens? If you have a group of people who have the similar background, similar education, their thinking is similar. And it is not appropriate to have similar types of people for solving the problems. It can be a biased decision making. Do you agree with me or not?
Yeah, I agree with you, sir.
What is the drawback of an engineer in terms of thinking? Most of you are engineers, I believe.
It's less creative, sir. Being less creative.
More logical, less creative.
Correct. we jump to the conclusion very fast, and which is highly dangerous. On the other side, what is the drawback of a HR person? HR background person और अदर ग्रेजुएट्स आर्ट्स वाला जो है उनका ड्रॉबैक क्या रहता है?
Exactly opposite. So they are more, creative but less logical thinking.
Correct. They dream a lot, which may not be practicable. This is similar to a marriage. अगर सब लोग सेम थिंकिंग के रहेंगे तो कंपटीशन बढ़ेगा. We need to perform our duty in project mode. What do you understand by project mode?
Distribution of work according to the capability of the person.
I will correct partially. In practice, whether you are mechanical engineer, whether you are electrical engineer, or whether you are IT engineer, in order to resolve the problems in industry, a diversified team is developed. And you need to brainstorm and resolve the problem. Anyone amongst you is having practical industrial experience?
Yes, sir.
Which industry?
So I wouldn't call it an industry, but I was in a research organization called Samir in IIT Bombay, if you might be knowing about it.
You are in Samir. Any manufacturing industry or service industry? Normally, cross-functional teams are developed. CFTs, you might have heard. That is the persons having exposure to various domains. One from production, one from design, one from assembly, one from quality, one from purchase, and so on. Such people come together. They discuss about that new idea of development of a product before launching the actual product. A market need has been identified. That market need is to be converted into the product specifications. Then you need to develop the manufacturing process for that particular specifications of the product, which is very challenging because this is the totally new product. And a single person cannot visualize the future problems which are likely to occur. That is why CFTs are encouraged. Based on their past experience, presence of mind, educational level, people brainstorm and they give their opinions, and majority of the problems get resolved at that moment. And it is the iterative process. It is not single day. It continues till that product becomes fully tested. What are the different stages in launching of a product? Hello? You need to understand the market need, then design the product, plan its manufacturing, produce it, test for quality, then supply it to the customer, take feedback from the customer, then modify the design as per customer feedback, again manufacture it, again test for quality, again it will go to the customer. So number of cycles will happen. And if you take the customer feedback positively, most of the problems get resolved at that moment before launching the product on commercial basis in the market. Is it true? Hello?
Yes, sir. With this, I think the market strategy is also playing an important role.
Yes, market strategy is obviously playing a importance. But we are here considering how to make our product robust enough. Otherwise, you might have heard
Yes.
automobiles, when new products get launched, some serious defect is there, and someone goes to court. In that instance, that particular manufacturing industry callbacks all the products and they replace that faulty component or the entire vehicle free of cost. Have you heard of such things? Or mobile batteries? ऐसा सुना है क्या भाई?
Yes, sir. This has happened a lot of times, and recently, I think Alexa is having the same problem. I mean, Amazon has to they are requesting their customers and they are apologizing, and Alexa is being replaced, or I think some sort of upgrades are coming to that. So I have just heard this news or read it somewhere.
See, this is the pity situation. This deteriorates the brand name of a particular company.
Yes, sir.
So in order to avoid such problems, you should have the appropriate procedure, number of iterations before launching the product on commercial basis. And that is where your design thinking plays a vital role. You cannot ignore the inputs of a HR person or an arts person in manufacturing of a product. Sometimes what you ignore, you think that it is a foolish idea, but a HR person tells you and you take it seriously and something new comes in your mind and the problem gets resolved. As a part of our duty, we do consultancy in industries, and always NITI ensures that we have a diversified group of faculty members, one from HR, one from industry engineering, one from information technology, and so on. So whenever we visit the industry, come across some problem, we brainstorm. Each person gives their inputs based on their backgrounds, and something new effective one comes and problem gets resolved. So we need to respect the experts from all domains, irrespective of their backgrounds. That is the message from this. You need to understand the user requirements appropriately. And someone in the past have written some assumptions. You need to challenge that assumptions. Whether that assumptions are valid today or you can overrule that assumptions. And you need to redefine the problems number of times. That will only help you to manufacture the products which can be in tune with the requirements of the user. Hope that you understood. Some of the business people and others who blindly solve the problems, these people could benefit from a good dose of design thinking. Most important of all is that the process is iterative, expansive. Designers resist the temptation to jump immediately to the solution to the stated problem. Instead, they first spend the time determining what the basic fundamental issue is that needs to be addressed. They don't try to search for a solution until they have determined the real problem. And even then, instead of solving the problem, they stop to consider the wide range of potential solutions. Only then will they finally converge upon their proposal. This process is called design thinking. In a simple, lucid language, the definition of design thinking has been explained here. That is, you recognize the problem, you brainstorm on that, and you converge on all thinkings. Each one of you agree with that, and that helps you to finalize the design thinking. Key elements of design thinking: people-centered, highly creative, hands-on, iterative. Hope that you understand all these four. If not, I will explain it further. What is the meaning of people-centered?
I mean, the end user or the customer is the center of uh, thinking for everything. Customer is the
Correct.
center, sir.
Correct. Customer is the king. We have read it, we have heard it number of times. As well as the people who are working for that customer are also very important. You cannot exploit that people. You need to satisfy the need of the customer by giving the respectable working environment to the people who are working in that organization. Highly creative, which means that you need to have alternative strategies for development of that product, manufacturing of that product. Hands-on, feasible, iterative. You will not stop with one. You will always believe in the better way of working or better way of development of the products. Nothing is perfect. Always there is a better person or better manufacturing method or better product which can satisfy the requirements of the customer tomorrow. Do you agree? People centered starts from what people, users, customers, consumer need or want to do, their motivations and the problem they are trying to solve. Empathy is the key. It is about you. You need the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. What is empathy? Sometimes as a teacher, we scold the student for not completing their assignments on time or quality wise. Is it true? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some of the teachers are very, very rude in behavior. Sometimes it happens that the student is good, but because of the situation which is beyond his or her control, he or she could not complete the assignments. Can it punish such student? Hello?
So we need to think practically a little bit sometimes. It depends on the situation actually. And if you know the student, particular student, then we can give him a chance. That is
Yes.
That is.
See, we
that
need
is
to act in matured way without reaching to the conclusion. Try to understand why he or she have behaved like that way. Have the empathy about that student. Try to understand him or her. Give him or her an opportunity. And still he is unable to do, then you can punish. But don't reach to the conclusion. Normally, when we are young enough, we reach to the conclusion very fast. We develop the ego. The student is not listening to me. So we punish him or her very severely. And that is not the good practice. I remember when Vizitia became autonomous in 2004, we received so many complaints from the students about behavior of many faculty members regarding term work marks. Our faculty were good, but some of the faculty were not matured. And they were reluctant to come out of the university pattern कि वो 2 तारीख को ओरल होना ही चाहिए, उतने बजे होना ही चाहिए. उस समय वो स्टूडेंट नहीं है, उसको 0 मार्क देने का, या एग्जाम को स्टूडेंट नहीं, उसको 0 मार्क देने का. They were adamant on that. But over a period of time, we understood we are here to help the students, give them opportunities. Our purpose is to test their knowledge and award the degrees, not to punish them. Definitely, we need to differentiate the good performer with mediocre performer and bad performer. But we need to have the empathy. And slowly our peoples became matured. And nowadays that problem has been resolved majoritarily. I guess that similar problem is existing in many of the autonomous institutes. Is it true?
Yes, sir, very true.
So we need to be matured as a faculty member. Design thinking simulates you to look at situations differently and come up with new solutions that go beyond and improve existing alternatives. Integrating thinking is the key. You need the ability to look at all the different aspects of a problem. Have you heard of holistic thinking? HOLISTIC. Holistic thinking.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
Thinking in all means from bottom up or
Correct.
through all right directions.
Correct. See, although there are various parts or elements of a system, you cannot take the decision in isolation. Before taking any major decision, you need to think in terms of what will be its impact on other elements also. It should not adversely impact on others also. Key elements hands-on. Stop discussing, start working, make ideas tangible. Prototyping is the thinking with your hands. Test your hypothesis. Failure is a part of the process in order to succeed. Experiment with trial and error are key. Those who experiment, they can only get success. And those who don't dare to experiment, they stop their progress. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
One should have guts to be proactive, dare to experiment. It is likely that initially people may criticize you, student may criticize you, your colleagues may criticize you. But if you are confident enough and you don't have any vested interest, long term, everyone will appreciate you. Practical feasibility determines your success or failure. The road to success does not follow a straight line. The more you are able to look through, understand, create, learn, cycle, the higher chance you have for good results. What does this mean? Never get tired of, never get discouraged by the failures. One should learn from mistakes. If you analyze the CVs of successful peoples, all of them were not scholars, or vice versa. Those who were scholars in their education, they are not compulsorily successful peoples. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Why is it so?
I think at the end of the day, it's just hard work and dedication that pays off. And maybe passion towards that particular thing.
Correct. I will give my own example. I was a school dropout. Can you believe? 6th standard, I left the school because of some reason. I was attending a school of Jilla Parishad in a small village, and teacher beaten me without my fault, so I left the school. And I never crossed 60% till my 7th standard. Can anyone believe? Similar can be the story for each one of you. So what determines your success or failure is belief in excellence. Never get discouraged by failures. Always have positive attitude. Have patience. Never become panic. And be open-minded to listen to others, capture what is important, implement that. If you feel that after listening that it is not useful, forget about it. But don't criticize that person initially. Design thinking steps: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test, implement. All these are self-explanatory. In case you don't understand anything, please ask me. Can I assume you understood all entire steps in design thinking? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Understand, explore, materialize. That steps have been clustered into 3. Understanding, exploring, and materializing. Problem space, solution space. What is the meaning of this divergence, convergence, empathize, framing, reframing, ideate, prototyping, and testing? And you will find that almost 75% of the time is spent on planning, and only 25% of the time is spent on prototyping and testing. And in fact, it goes parallel. The continuous feedback is taken from subsequent sessions. That feedback is used to improvise on earlier designs. That will help to remove the earlier defects in the product or service. Are you understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Design challenge to design solution. In detail, design challenge: stakeholder mapping, context mapping, road mapping, ethnographic research, empathy mapping, exploring personas, journey mapping, research sense making, how might we, brainstorming, think different, think wrong, brain writing, affinity mapping, idea filtering, stakeholder value mapping, low fidelity prototyping, paper prototyping, digital prototyping, storyboarding, acting it out, testing and iterating, design solution. The sub steps of design steps. And more or less, it is applicable to every product or every process design. Anything which you are not understanding here in this? So you can see how many challenges have been reduced to the solutions. By this volume of the thread, you can see. Empathy. Empathy is our ability to see the world through other people's eyes, to see what they see, feel what they feel, and experience things as they do. So empathy is nothing but deep understanding of the problems and realities of the people you are designing for. First step: how users interact with the environment. Capture quotes, behaviors, and other notes that reflect their experience. Notice what they think, feel, need. Engage. schedule interviews, learn how to ask the right question, immerse, find ways to get into the user's shoes, best way to understand user needs. Any difficulty in understanding the concept of empathizing? Are you familiar with ethnographic research? Hello?
No, sir.
Ethnographic research means, suppose you want to do research on some particular community in Gadchiroli. You are knowing that Gadchiroli is the Adivasi district or Nandurbar is the Adivasi district, and no literature is available, or it is not trusted source. So what you will do? You need to go there, be part of that community for few days, stay with that peoples, observe them, their daily habits, what they do, how they behave. That is the first-hand experience which you get. Then you analyze that first-hand experience with your common sense, your educational level, and then you can draw some logical inferences from it. That is ethnographical research. That is empathy with that peoples. Now suppose, for example, it is the common understanding that Adivasis are Naxalite, but it's not true. At least I don't believe that all the Adivasis are Naxalite. What is your opinion?
Yes, sir.
The situation forces them to become the Naxalites. There is a dearth of resources for their livelihood, or few peoples exploit others. That is why that peoples forcibly becomes Naxalites. So government needs to work on that. They needs to be brought into the mainstream. They needs to be offered education. They need to be spread the awareness among what are the facilities available for education, what are the opportunities for employment, and so on. You will find some of my colleagues are pure Adivasis, but their performance is much better as compared to the persons who born and brought up in main cities. Can you believe this? Hello?
Sir, this is surprising.
Yes, it is surprising, but it is true. Peoples are intellectually very good, but they are unfortunate to get the exposure. If they get the proper environment, they excel. If you analyze the JEE results, you will find more of the students are from villages in that JEE list. JEE is considered to be the most difficult examination in India for BTech admission in IITs. But if you analyze the background of the students, you will find most of the students are having rural background. Now it is the challenge in front of the IITs to mold that Adivasi or villagers into the sophisticated engineers. And that is why most of the subjects on behavioral science are given more importance in IITs than the technical subjects also. Empathizing tools. Assume a beginner's mindset. Ask what, how, why. Ask the 5 whys. What are 5 whys? It is known as Kipling's 6 servicemen. What, where, whom, which, who, and how. By using these words, you can develop the various questions in order to understand
the product, situation, person. Empathy map. Conduct interviews with empathy. Build empathy with analogies. Use photos and videos. User-based studies. Engage with extreme users. Story share and capture. Body storm. Create journey maps. These are different ways by which you try to understand the product situation so that the problem is defined properly. Now, what is beginner's mindset? You need to de-learn what you have learned. And it is very, very difficult. Do you agree? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the significance of de-learning?
Remove the conditioning.
Yes, as a faculty member, actually, we are prone to develop the ego. We feel that we are superior as compared to the students. But that is not the fact. Majority of the students are better than the faculty. If we believe that we are the superior, that is the wrong thing. Because our age is much higher as compared to students. We got exposure. We read books. That is why we feel that we are superior. But nowadays, this generation is much smarter than us. And their ideas are more innovative than us. So we should be open enough to accept it, reshape them. So for that, in this journey, you may have to learn something. And that we should happily do it. Then only we will be able to serve our duties honestly. Forget your assumptions and personal beliefs. Misconceptions or stereotypes limits the amount of real empathy you can build. A beginner's mindset allows you to put aside biases and approach, design with fresh eyes. What you should do, don't judge, question everything, be truly curious, find patterns, listen without thinking how you are going to respond. Have you understood all this?
Yes, sir.
Do we practice?
Yes, sir.
We should practice this, each one of us, particularly those who are teaching to the first year. This is very, very important. If we are to empathize with users, we should always try to adopt the mindset of a beginner. What this means is that as a design thinker, we should always do our best to leave our own assumptions and experience behind when making observations. Our life experiences create assumptions within us, which we use to explain and make sense of the world around us. However, this very process affects our ability to empathize in a real way with the people we observe. Since completely letting go of our assumption is impossible, we should constantly and consciously remind ourselves to assume a beginner's mindset. It is helpful if you always remind yourself never to judge what you observe, but to question everything even if you think you know the answer, and to really listen to what others are saying. Don't reach to the conclusion, openly listen to everything, filter it, and then decide. Consider the mode dial of a Canon EOS digital SLR camera. How would a beginner photographer know what to choose? To help beginners, fully automatic modes are represented with icons on the dial, which makes it easy for a non-expert to guess what they mean. For example, clockwise from top, video, night portrait, sport, close-ups. Icons are also universal, independent of language. More advanced modes are shown with abbreviations. You really need to read the manual before you use any of these. TV doesn't mean television, but time value, shutter priority. You could only imagine how much confusion this must cause to novice Canon users. Nikon use single letters instead for the advanced modes. What is the learning from this? visual display? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is the learning from this example?
Like even without reading the manual or something, just a beginner can know at least what is what.
Correct. Don't assume that the user knows everything. Even the illiterate person should be able to understand how to operate it. So it should be user friendly, simple language, simple design. Otherwise, many people have a habit to use jargons. As a faculty, we know the jargons, but students level, it is very difficult. Empathize, ask what, how, why. As I have explained to you, you need to be a childish mind. Always be curious to know. Don't become old. Stop thinking. Always be curious. Try to question the status quo. Now this 10 minutes I will leave for the questions, if any. 5 minutes, sorry. Because there are so many PPTs and because of limitation of the time. If you have any questions. Any difficulty to anyone in understanding?
No, sir.
Sir, if yeah, I just request participants to unmute and please ask questions if any.
Yes, dear participants, the session is open for question answers. We have last 5 minutes and then we'll start with the next session.
Sir, if I may, I want to speak few words.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much. It was the fastest 2 hours of my life, to be frank, because the lecture was like it started at 9:30, but we felt like it is just 5 minutes and we are with you. So many things, so many takeaways and deep thoughts along with the presentation. It actually made us wide awake. Thank you so much for your talk. And I also thank Sujata ma'am for allowing us to interact with Narkhede sir. I also got one point from you that relentless communication is so important. We usually give up on our students after asking many times and just focus upon what we are talking about. But you have not given up on the audience. You have actually talked to us, interacted with us till the end of the presentation. So thank you so much for making this talk beyond jargons, to the point and very impactful. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Even if you get some doubts later, you can contact me. My email ID is available with coordinator. You can take it from her. You are welcome to NITI.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you so much. Participants, any queries or any doubts? Yes, Ganesh sir, are you trying to say something?
Sir, whether this empathizing is subjective or it can be made objective also.
See, it can be made objective also, but a more role is of your maturity, your attitude.
Right.
If you go with the negative mindset, then you will not be able to derive the logical inferences from that research.
My worry is whether it can be inculcated throughout the life experience or with certain training it can be developed.
See, it cannot be developed 100% through training.
Right. Thank you.
It is the human nature. Some peoples are rude by their birth.
Yes.
They always feel that they are superior as compared to the rural peoples or the Adivasis.
Correct.
And some peoples are so kind enough that they forgive all the mistakes done by someone else. And they always think positive.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any other?
Yes, participants.
If there are no questions, we will stop, madam.
Sir, I think there are no more questions. So I guess we have received your PPT, we have your email ID and contact number as well. So we'll definitely connect with you for our further communication.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you all the participants for
So just
interacting on this occasion.
Sir, just wait for a minute and can you please stop sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Sir, can you see my screen?
It is loading, madam. Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. So, sir, thank you so much for such informative session. We have learned so much from this. And this is our token of gratitude. Please accept this on behalf of organizing committee. I am presenting this to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have given so much of time. You have tried to make the session interactive. Yes, participants were enjoying. They were typing in the chat box. They were communicating. So thank you so much, sir.
Thanks to all.
Please accept this.
Namaskar, madam.
Namaskar. Thank you so much, sir. Session is very active. We will really motivate the participants to be vocal.
All are welcome to visit our institute.
We surely do, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.